I'm glad you said that.
Safe space.
Welcome to the stream.
Safe space stream.
That's how we do it. Killing Yetis all the days. So, Vale has been handed this list. And then
Ollie, that was a really nice...
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That was a really nice melody.
Haven't you... I sing a lot of just random tunes.
Dean's gonna get you in now.
But they never clip the good ones. And it annoys me in my heart when I've done something. I'm like, I'm genuinely proud of that. It's not clipped. I'm like, it's lost forever. I'm not gonna find that VOD.
It resolved really nicely.
Anyway, you just gotta do it. You know, you just gotta like sing and then go to a conclusion. It doesn't matter if there's some bumps on the way. Eventually, you get there. So Sid gave Vale a list, and then I assume what Sid immediately starts doing is setting up like. Essentially, to turn this part of the cave into a workspace, like a proper workroom, with Melody's help. And then just for the ease, it's going to be old. What are you infusing before we leave?
I'm making the whatever dagger or skinning tool or whatever it is we're using for Melody a +1, so it easily cuts through the because she has to finish removing all the membrane. Yeah. Melody has a lot of work ahead of her. So,
cool.
I'm giving her a magical tool to do it.
So, Vale and Gil leave and start to go down the mountain. You seem to want to say something at the end of the last segment.
I think there was a brief discussion to be had about money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like, I sort of looked at Vale sort of looked a bit worried when he was told it'd be about 90 gold, and then forlornly jangled his coin purse, and Gil came over and offered to help pay.
So here's also a thing.
Sid would say it's 150 gold for the whole process, including his payment for him doing the work.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, sure, Gilwyn can start giving you money to help even it out.
As Gilwyn Melody sees Gilwyn like passing over, sort of them working out money, and sees
both got our purses out, counting.
Yeah, and Melody comes across and she sort of rummages in her ratty bag and pulls out an equally ratty smaller bag and just like plops it on your hand. And you look in it, and there's a bunch of gold coins, like all mixture of coins from all different countries. Half of them are muddy. Half
of them are like not in print.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that one's from a country that no longer exists.
Yeah.
This is an old Javan Empire coin.
And she just sort of smiles at Gil and then goes back and.
How much coin was that?
43.
Sweet. That's like actually a lot of money. Of course, it's not for this, but it's actually a lot of money to just be like, because Melody doesn't. Melody understands the importance of money, but doesn't personally. You know,
she doesn't care.
She doesn't care. So here's the thing: you can sort out money between yourselves and get enough to pay Sid. But Vale, while you were in Northenden for 4 days, you did meet someone who more or less was interested in funding you. And you can visit them when you go and visit the city. Well, you're visiting a city. You can visit them while you get there.
A patron.
Yes. So, you can easily get down the mountain. That is no actual problem.
You get Galleon okay?
You get Galleon's okay, not very happy, but is okay. And definitely happy to be back in the...
I feed him some dried fruit.
Definitely happy to be back in the stables. I burped like while I was speaking, and that just like completely fucked my brain, you know?
I did that.
I don't actually. Burps don't usually interrupt my brain work.
I never used to burp until I got sick like a couple of years ago, and now I burp, and I think it might just be a coincidence, but you know, that's my story.
I GM'd for the first time yesterday, and I did exactly that. I was saying something bad, and I was like, shit. I can't remember what we were doing.
Oh, beautiful.
So,
Doom.
You two can easily get back to Northenden. You have Galleon, but you probably Cool. Still walk alongside. You easily get him back to the stables at the Terrific
Yeah, I
Toad
kind of
Tavern.
need to not ride him and try and get him to love me again.
Yeah, feed him some carrots and
Feed him
things.
some nibbles.
But you easily leave him there for a bit. Leave him there where it's nice and warm, back at the stables beside the Terrific Toad Tavern. And then, do you start going and buying things on the list? Do you seek out this funder? Do you basically the other person you met and dealt with on this whole time is also going to be in the same place. You met with two people. This person who's interested in funding you, and this person who basically showed you the ropes. Said he was like a retired duelist, more or less. So, do you want to do with the buying first, or see these people first? Bear in mind, basically, those two, aside from today, really can't get started until you come back with that stuff.
I guess we buy it first.
Okay.
Could we... Vale, I'm thinking, do you know, since Salny didn't really get to eat that delicious yeti,
I did notice it was delicious.
could we go to the butcher's and grab him something, just so he's got something nice to eat?
Get him some
Feel
nice
kinda bad.
sausage.
I think he'd want something from the butcher's.
I reckon so.
I suppose we could, yes. Wouldn't hurt to keep him sweet, eh? Huh?
Exactly.
What do you want to buy him? I'm thinking sausages, but that's just because I have a hankering for some right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's-
sausages.
yeah, sausages.
Is the thing.
Yeah, exactly. You can basically buy like a ration pack worth of sausages and
Yeah.
various other things, and that's like very nice gameplay terms and things. So it's 5 silver. Get him some nice food, nice foodies. You can get.
It'd be
him more.
funny if you guys went there. There's like 10-pound or 30-pound slab of Yeti meat, and was like, "Listen, if you turn these into sausages for us, we'll let you keep half, and we'll take the other half. You do the work, and you get to keep half."
It's a shame you
of the
didn't
Yeti
want to keep
sausage."
any of the Yeti.
And then you bring it back up, and you're like, "We got you sausages."
Yeah.
He'd know. He'd know. Probably not. That's like a wisdom thing. So, really depends. Anyway, yeah, you easily do that. That's not a problem. In fact, actually, the way you enter here, like most medieval city or fantasy cities, at least the way I run them, there are usually townships outside, and little thorps and villages and things. And actually, more or less outside the entrance you were going to enter Northenden through, which is basically literally the cardinal west direction. From here, going down from the mountain, you even see the train line that goes from Northenden to the Crimson Mountain, because it's actually elevated ever so slightly on these struts. So you can notice that. But there's this town literally called Porktown. Guess what they make there? Sausages. So you buy some like Porktown. It's like how you have like Melton Mulberry pork pies. Like a Porktown sausage is like a well-known, solid, good sausage.
It's like
At
a
least in the
Marks and
human
Spencer's
lands.
sausage.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
Marks and Spencer's sausage.
Oh yeah.
M&S sausage.
Not just any sausage.
So you buy yourself some nice. You buy yourself some nice sausage, and then you're gonna go buy all this random crap. Go ahead and both give me investigation rolls.
Yeah, but I also want to haggle for everything.
No, that's fine. Just investigation for finding first.
Oh boy. Can I just help Gilwin instead?
It's just that the amount of stuff you need to buy, and it's because it's Sid, and annoyingly the list isn't in the right order. Things aren't all. You can't buy everything in one shop. So Vale doesn't know what he's looking for.
I don't know. Sid has a 19 intelligence, but not a high wisdom. So I imagine everything is like set up perfectly, but he wouldn't go so far as to suggest what kind of stores to get them in, because unless you suggested it to him, if you did, he would do it perfectly. But if you didn't, he's not wise enough to realize you need help.
Yeah.
They probably realized halfway down the mountain that they have no idea where to get this stuff from.
We had a long rest, right?
Yes.
Just for the sake of my looks.
Yeah, you did. You had like more than a long rest, Gilwin. You had like 12 hours of sleep, and it was good.
Yeah.
It's like me every fucking day. Gilwin is a little better at going around and talking to people and asking to a little better in general as just a person at asking people like, oh, do you know where we can get this? Oh no, I don't know what it is either, and stuff like that. And you do go to and find some shops, but you know who you meet? That white dragonborn that Sid hired to find him alchemical stuff. More specifically, he wanted him to find sulfur, which I think Scott said you actually... Do you need sulfur in tanning? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this guy finds you, and if you don't remember, he was this white dragonborn, very tall fellow. Wears these kind of tabard that has chainmail underneath, and he's got this sword that he always holds very regally. And he's one of a very regal dragonborn. And he's like, yes, you were with the party with Salni Isodia da Fixis. Yes, I've been looking for you for days. In fact, honestly, my contract with him is up, but I really wanted to help you find where you could get these things. Where is the gnomish fellow?
It's funny you should ask. He's in a cave up on the mountain.
Is he under attack? Is he been taken kidnapped by troglodytes?
He likes seclusion for his work. You know how these geniuses are. You know.
Oh well, that's. Well, I can show you to. I found a place where we can acquire the crystallized sulfur that he asked for. Well, it took some time.
Actually, as an honourable fellow and a friend of Salni, he gave us this list of items he needs. Perhaps you could be a kind chap and perhaps give us a hand in locating some of them. Obviously, if it takes up too much of your time, please. Do continue with your daily routine, but really, I do not know. I do not know my way around the city as well as you, obviously.
Oh well. He kind of thinks for a bit, and it's one of those things where it's like this guy's time versus his like honor and his own beliefs. And he kind of just like sort of mutters something under his breath in Draconic that is sort of like, you can tell it's a mantra. It's something he's said so many fucking times. Not that I don't think either of you understand Draconic. Actually, I think this is like the first party where no one understands Draconic, which is perfect for me.
He can for an hour.
If I choose to cast it.
If he chose. So he sort of like, I'll take you to this man, and if I can help you, I'll try. But you know, I do have to tend to my dear sister.
No, of course, I do not wish to.
But you know, if you go to Little Drakenbrow and ask for Marcellius, you should be able to find me, and I should be able to help you on your quest. And he puts his hand on Vale's shoulder and it's like, on your quest for this list. And then starts leading you, and he starts walking, and it's like, "Come on, friends!" He's got a bit of a Thor thing going on. Come along, friends. And he starts taking you to actually in the Elven District. The Elven District is fairly overcrowded. So Northenden is a city that is made into modes of districts. All the districts have a very dwarven feel because it is a dwarven architecture city, but it's a dwarven architecture city built in a human way, so it's all sort of flat and open and stuff. But the Elven District has...
It is worth noting that all the areas do look different.
They do, I was going to say, they do all look different. The Elven District you go into has large open parks. Like, the main area in it is like a triangle-shaped park with streets with buildings on. But the thing of note is that a lot of these buildings are, were maybe intended to be one house, but have been turned into like 3 or 4 recently. You know, like, they've installed extra doors and things and segmented the houses out. And you see lots of new builds going on. Lots of new builds going on. Even here in the Elven District. He takes you to a fairly poor area of this Elven District. Most of the elves here are like diplomats or very talented craftsmen, but not everyone. In fact, these buildings are under the gardens. There's this beautiful gardens. It's like one of the attractions, which is one of those things. It's funny. It's like it's an attraction in Northenden, but like almost any large settlement with wood elves would have this exact thing. But I think Vale would vaguely know the Fey Gardens. Not that he knows much about the Fey, but he would know that like that's not as fancy as they make it seem. It is
They
beautiful.
worship their Fey gods.
It is beautiful, but you aren't seeing what's going on up there. You going under it because it's kind of raised a little bit, and there's like channels underneath, and you get into this apartment underneath where Marsilius like knocks on the door, and like a little thing slides open and is like, "Yes, it is I, Marsilius. I have come about the crystallized sulfur, and perhaps even more rewards." And he has this brief conversation with. Actually, he has an in Draconic. Like he has that intro, and then he starts speaking a little bit of Draconic, very briefly. And then the door opens, and he sort of steps aside, like, "This is your dealing, not mine. I cannot make a deal for you."
Thank you, Marsilius. It was most kind of you to show us here. I will tell Salni how honorable you have been.
Ah, yes. My thanks, and may Bahamut guide your way with his shimmer. And he wanders off. He doesn't wander off, he fucking marches off. He knows exactly where he's going. And you enter this small, tight little apartment that clearly this front room is being used like a little shop front. Like, there's this person sitting there in a robe. And there is a sort of rug laid out, sort of like a picnic rug. What do they call it? Picnic thingy? You know, you lay it out, it's got stripes.
Like a hamper? What are
Um...
you talking about?
He means like a picnic blanket.
Picnic blanket, with stuff on it, and the stuff sometimes has words in very like little paper that's like, yeah, it's this, but it's in common, and it's in like
a hobo shop.
It's in like English common, like a hobo shop. Although the smell here, it's like a sharp incense. It's kind of the thing where it's like it immediately triggers as first time you smell it. When you step in, is like like that's gonna poison me, and then it's like, no, it actually smells nice, but like for some reason the first hit is really painful. And this guy is here, hooded in his own house, sort of sitting there like, yes, you are. I was told a gnomish fellow would be buying these things, but that is no worry. You are here for the crystal sulfur, yes. He kind of talks to both of you.
Actually, we're here for a few more items. I have a list here.
Well, I have many items to sell.
I put the list down or show it to him at least. Also, I don't like him already.
He takes the list.
He sounds like a UNT.
He takes the list. His hand is coated in blue scales, and he sort of just goes. It takes the list and looks and kind of looks up at you and then back down. It's like, I have many of these things, and others I can acquire for you for reasonable price. Return at the right time. But are you interested in any of my other things while we talk business? And he sort of motions, and most of it's tat. But you do notice he has some potions. He has this little crystal of sulfur, but you only know is like. Sid kind of described what he was looking for at some point. You're like, oh, it kind of looks like this. Prepared. There's a wand as well. But most of it's just like trinkets and like a chandelier and like a bird cage and just like weird things that are probably stolen. Or very, very least acquired through some weird dealings. But he definitely has the first things. For ease sake, you're going to be able to come back here and get essentially everything, and maybe it's a couple of things you pick up in other places. But he would be just the same thing. It'd be like, 90 gold for all of these things. But, you know, if you're interested in more of my wares, Nestalul always has good deals.
90 gold.
Is what Sid suggested.
Oh, yes. A grand expense, but all of these things hard to acquire, hard to mine. But you can acquire anything like this in the city if you have the gold and the patience. And good colleagues like Nestalul.
I would wager that you do not get a payday such as 90 gold particularly often looking at your wares. Nor the location of your shop.
I never said it was a shop. But, you know, I will not turn down this deal. I will happily take it. And you say 90 gold as if it is so much. I have made bigger deals in my time. I have made many smaller deals in my time. Thus
My
is the
point
flow
is-
of commerce and business.
I think perhaps you might be willing to give us a small discount if we buy all of these items from you. If not, we can go and spread our gold elsewhere.
Go ahead and give me a quick persuasion roll. It's a very reasonable thing to do. Reasonable argument to make. I can reduce price a small amount. Yes, if I acquire everything for you, it would be, it'll take moments of time. I can come back in some hours with everything that you would need. I can reduce price to 80 gold.
75.
Give me that second persuasion. Give me that seal the deal handshake persuasion.
Oh no. I'm holding out the hand.
He takes the hand and then he shakes it and he's like 80. 79. I'm feeling generous.
Could I, excuse me. Hi, Gilwyn Gallagher.
Nistalur.
Could I just take a look at that wand, Mr. Mistalul?
Absolutely. He literally will pick it up and sort of actually with, I don't know if you know how wands are meant to be held. You might from books, but he does hold it like correctly, and then there's like a proper way to hold it if you're offering it to someone, and he actually does that to pick it up.
May I take a...
Yes, have a look, but please do not activate the magics while you are inside my abode. That would be messy.
That's a nice wand. It's a very nice wand you've got there.
So the wand, what were you want to do? Arcana check?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Going to find out.
You
what
don't
it
know
is.
exactly what it does. It's not an incredibly powerful thing. It is wood of some kind. It is burnt on one end, clearly does some kind of fire magic. You assume very minor fire magic, but you don't know what or how. It looks like the kind of thing, though, from the burn marks, and there's actually, like, cracks up it, but it's been like, glazed and fixed all these times. It's actually pretty sturdy, whatever it is. It's got, like, a good deal of charges, whatever it is. You know how wands work. They basically have amount of casts.
Yeah.
But again, it's not got powerful magic off it. If it did, you would have it. You would actually be easier to find because you'd be like, ooh. But this is just like small fire magics.
Thank you very much. And I'll hand it back to him.
If you are interested, it would be. It would be 140 gold.
I like whimper at that.
Well, allowing non-magical folk to cast spells so easily comes at a price.
So yeah, 79 gold for those things. Did you say, Vale? Yeah.
79 gold. I will. Please enjoy yourself in the local area. I will return with all of the reagents that you require.
Yes. I hope you do.
You leave. He leaves. I assume you wait around.
Don't
Quick, Vale.
trust those things.
Take the wand. Grab the wand.
Well, he would have waited until you left the room before he left. So the house is assumedly locked. The apartment is assumedly locked. Now, Vale can break in if he wanted to.
It is a bit too obvious.
Nah, it's okay, I'm kidding. How long?
Don't trust him though. Have you seen his hands? The way he talked. He's one of them snake folk.
Oh, the blue ski. Yeah. Huh.
The blue skis.
What do you think he's gonna... I mean...
No, I just... Well, you know, he may well be working for them and passing on information about Northenden, but it is none of our business as such. He
As long
may
as we
well
get
be
what we
in
want.
exile. I'm probably just being unduly racist. But I would still, rather have him on the end of a sword rather than the end of a conversation.
I like
Wow.
Look, you'll understand these things. It's like drow. Never trust a drow. You know? You know that there are these ones. They're good. Good. They live on the surface. Never trust a drow.
that. Literally, while you're saying this, like, there is a drow who walks around the corner watering the plants.
Does he look at me? Does he like hear?
He definitely heard.
Bear's like, hey, what you looking at? Hmm?
Oh, but
He says back in Elvish, just like, just minding my own business. Don't mind me.
Vale, shut up. I'm very sorry about him. Sir / lady. I don't know what. Who?
You can't super tell.
Oh, okay.
Come on, friend,
Friend.
let's go. Let's have a drink while we wait.
Hey, drinkies. Do you go to like an elven bar? Do you go to an elven wine bar? Yeah.
Sure.
You go to this lovely elven wine bar while you're here. You probably only have time for, well, it depends how much you want to drink.
A drink.
A drink. Easy. Like,
Might buy a little bottle of something to take up to the others if it's not unreasonable.
well, usually a bottle of wine is 2 gold. You can buy cheaper wine.
I can afford that.
Yeah,
Like if you
let's-
want like a nice wine, like from a Radia, that would be the 2 gold. Yeah.
Nice
So
wine.
79 gold.
So you have a nice time in this elven bar. You slightly stand out, but it's not like people are. It's Northenden. You know? There are people literally who are asking, it's like, oh, do you come to the Elven District often? Of course you don't. That sort of thing.
Wow.
But
Wow.
overall, you have a nice little time. It's actually kind of nice because it's like way classier than a tavern. You wouldn't want to do it every day, but it was like just nice to sit in for a little bit and drink and maybe have like probably like an equivalent of like a fortune cookie or something, you know.
I tell Vale about the whole mountain climb and the drow especially, that they were actually merciful and forgiving, and they let me go. And yeah, Melody turned into a rat.
It happened.
It was pretty crazy. It was cute as fuck, but it was pretty crazy.
Or presumably you would have told me about Raj in the cave.
Oh yeah, of course I would. Yeah,
What did she look like?
like, what did she look like, Ollie?
She looked like basically. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, the Children of Forest.
Basically, the Children of Forest, but
That's
like
exactly
way
how I figured.
way smaller, but more fey. But like more or less, that's what Raj looks like.
Vale, do you ever watch Game of Thrones on HBO?
I
don't
fucking
watch it
knew
on
straight up
HBO.
using that reference.
I have to pirate it online,
torrentcunts.com.
but yes, I do watch it.
Yeah, you can't get HBO in Jarviskjir. It's super annoying.
Whoa! He is a pirate.
Was.
He's
Oh my
literally a
God.
pirate.
That's true.
Anybody's
He's
house
changed
goes
his
on and
ways.
Watch non-scrambled porn. It's his.
Oh, I can't wait until Jarviskjir gets like TV so they can instantly get porn. It's gonna happen. Anyway.
I'm so sorry. I know I'm dating myself here, but you guys are so young. You don't really know what scrambled porn is. Do
We
you?
know of scramble porn. We
I know
don't
you
need to
know the
have this
concept,
discussion.
but you didn't live it.
Does it? No, go on.
Does it
You-
boggle
Yeah.
your mind?
Dick and a scrambled
Oh
egg.
man, that's funny.
Anyway.
Aw.
Anyway,
That's what you say she looks like.
It's quite pretty for a little annoying piece of shit. But she's definitely very protective of Melody.
oh well, I've to admit I'm a little bit surprised you didn't hit her in that cave. I might have done. Broken a couple of ribs, shown her who's boss. Oh, not so strong when you're invisible, Anyway, that is the wine talking. perhaps we should get back and see whether this snake is back with the items we requested. I have other than Melody's coin purse, I have 19 gold coins to go towards this. If you are happy to provide the rest, I will pay you back, of course.
No need.
I just need to start a duel. It is a little bit difficult when you have to rescue your friends from an avalanche.
Yes,
Clicks.
sorry.
Alright,
Look.
so you...
We're partners. You don't have to pay me back.
Oh, no, I will, Gil. You need a bit of money to enjoy yourself. You're young.
Yeah.
So...
Not saying that you need the money, because you could do it without the money, but it's easier with the money.
You assume that everyone's as bad as girls as you are. As bad with girls as you are.
I will point out that Gilwyn Gallagher bought a prostitute to talk to her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Just that's the thing that happened.
I'm not bad with girls. Only the pretty ones.
Would you even bother talking to an ugly girl? I'm kidding.
Like he's like before that even was like up the wine.
Come on, let's go back.
All right,
I want
so
to get back up this fucking mountain.
You go back there. Nestal's door is ever so slightly open. You push it open more, and he's there, and he's got an open satchel of stuff. It's a very low quality satchel, but it's like gone into the price just so you can carry it wherever you're going. And I imagine he's like, you can check every single thing. It is all in there, even some duplicates for things where I could get brilliant price. This is the benefits of working with Nestal, of course.
Well, we will check it, I think, if you do not mind.
I do not mind. That is merely part of the business. And you can check it. Not that you know what all of these things are meant to look like, but it does seem to be legit.
Cool.
And you've got this thing, and yes, this appears to be in order.
Yes, and this is the other thing that Sally wanted.
Obviously, absolutely, yeah.
That might be that, and let us pay the man-ish.
He
75?
definitely, like, you can only really see his eyes, but he definitely, like, it's not an insulted look, it's just like a, I know look. Just like, come on, like, dude. 79 gold.
75 gold, you're saying?
Now, Gilwyn Gallagher. You told me your name. Do not look surprised.
No, I'm just happy you remembered.
Nistal always remembers.
79 then.
79.
In that case.
Yes. And
Okay.
he does the same when you hand over the money and he counts it. And he does kind of, when he gets to like melodies that are like dirty and you know when you've had like a pound coin that's just got like just crud in the like the cracks, it's like, who fucking gave me this? I feel ashamed giving this to someone else. I'm gonna give it to a robot if I can. It's like those, and they're also just like of weird things. He's like, curious. You clearly are the robbers of ruins. If you find something interesting near Northenden, do consider selling to Nestal. It is a pleasure doing some business with you. And he kind of puts all the money aside and so it just stays there. It doesn't say goodbye. It's just like assumes you're gonna leave.
Well, Bill, should we pop off?
Yes. That's,
Right, thank you.
Get back to the others. Honestly, I do not know how Sally and Melody will react after being alone for so long.
Well, how did Sally and Redledy react after being away so long?
You know, she is the only person she's ever seen naked.
Before we go any further, I did roll a perception roll at disadvantage before they left.
Yes. Why?
Because she gave him coin when he was more or less saying, I don't have enough money.
Oh.
To see if I perceived that.
I would say that she wasn't very subtle, but you weren't paying attention, so it'd be around about like a 10. Yeah, you saw that.
Okay, cool. So I imagine shortly after they left, I mean, I'll go into that in a bit, but I'll leave it to Ian first, because Sally just on the nose or right off the top is just going to be like, okay, this is what we have to do, and start like kind of directing, just like she did before, returning the favor now, the work. So Ian, what would she be doing?
She would just be following your instructions. You're the boss here. She knows that well enough. She wouldn't be saying much, apart from maybe to sort of, apart from your instructions are probably, initially you probably assume like she understands easily enough, and for like the first half hour maybe she's a bit. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. And then you realize, oh, I've got to bring it down a level. But once she actually understands, she's pretty good at everything. It's just you need to get her to understand what you want, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty much how Melody is. Takes a while to get going. When you get it going,
yeah.
It's probably going to be around then when I almost am reminded, because again I haven't ate wisdom, so I forget things often or whatever. When I'm reminded of her just like innocent ignorance. It's around then, and mind you, I did give to Melody a magical dagger or skinning knife or whatever it is, a +1 to make the skinning so it just like slides off, right? But anyways, so it's probably around when I'm reminded of her innocence that I'll bring up the subject. I'll broach the subject and say, "Oh yeah, oh whoa,
who was that? Right? Stalbina?
I don't know.
What was that?
I think Yet is
Melody."
There we go.
Melody?
I have to ask you a question.
She just tilts her head and looks at you.
That little purse or sack or whatever that you gave to Vale, what was that?
Purse of coins. Full of coins Melody finds in forest.
Why did you give it to him?
Because Gil helping Vale. Gil, Melody's friend. So Melody helped Gil.
That she gave it to Vale, right?
She would have specifically handed it to Gil, who then presumably passed it on to Vale.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Oh, okay. So it was Gil that needed the money.
Vale needs money, Melody thinks, but Gil helping. So Melody help Gil.
That's not how it's supposed to work. Vale is my employer, and he hired me to do a job, and I'm willing to do the job for whatever amount of money that I get paid, and this is above and beyond the confines of that job, and so he's paying me additional to do this job, and I have no problem with that. That's appropriate. It's an extension of the contract, whatever. However, he's the one paying me to craft something for him. I don't want your money. Not that it's not good enough, it's just not right.
Melody never uses money. If Melody can help Gil with money, Melody helps Gil.
Okay, let me explain it this way. You gave money to Gil as a gift, right?
Yes.
Because Gil's your friend?
Yes, Gil, Melody's friend.
That was very sweet of you. You're a very kind person, Melody. Now, Gil is going to give Gil's money to Vale to pay me, which means that I'm getting paid in Gil's money. And that's not fair to Gil.
But Gil Vale's friend, yes?
Sure, but Gil's not my employer. I mean, last time I took a job from Gil, things kind of went sour, didn't they? Sure, inevitably led to this, gesturing to the cloak, but the hide.
She does actually she frowns, and then after a moment she sort of nods in understanding at that.
I mean, Gil's a nice person, and damn, can he write a good melody. Huh.
Melody?
He laughs literally as you start saying it because he knew it was going to happen. But that doesn't change the fact that he's not the employer, and so therefore shouldn't be the one paying the bill. I think this is kind of something I guess I'm going to have to talk to Vale about, because I don't feel comfortable taking your money or Gil's money, for that matter. It's not appropriate.
So, Sid gets money from Vale, but doesn't want money from Gil?
I don't think I should be taking money from either of you since you're not my employers. What I'm getting at is the reason why you're here is because you're companions of his. The reason I'm here is I'm an employee. I think the terms of our relationship might have to change if this is how the dynamic is getting screwed up like this. I can't be an employee that takes money from his friends. If he can't afford me, I think him and I are going to have to rebroach this contract.
So, Sid is not Vale's friend. Employee, what is this?
Well, unlike you and Gil, you and Gil have traveled with me of your own volition, right? And you've certainly proved your care for myself and each other and as people. However, I honestly never even thought of Vale that way. He's an employer. Employer is cut and dry. He pays me to do a job. I do that job, and that's that. I mean, sure, when Christmas time comes around, we might do a Secret Santa, but I mean, that's just because it's a required thing, not because I actually want to.
So Sid not friends.
Well, don't touch it. Stay away.
Sid
Secret
not
Pelor.
friends with Vale. Vale gives Sid money to stay with.
Yeah. Now that doesn't mean it can't be changed in the future. I'm sure a friendship could happen, just not in the current climate. Not with how things are. He's my employer, not my friend.
She sort of seems confused. Thinks about this for a moment.
Why Sid stay for money? Why Sid need money?
Oh, these things that I research, things I'm working on. I mean, if you understood the significance of imprinting, you know how sometimes you come across a puppy that was just born bad. It's just bad, and sometimes you come across a puppy and it was raised well, and it's a really nice puppy. Well, imprinting is kind of like taking a bad puppy and making it a good one. No, that's bad. Imprinting is kind of like taking a dead puppy and making it a good one.
She was nodding along up to the point that you said making a dead puppy.
Yeah,
into a
that
good
is like...
one. And now she's just looking at you like.
Yeah, you'd notice like there's a pause and then like the wolf cloak, which I imagine has been used like a blanket, just like gets up and just like moves away and just gets down again. Just like it's further away from Sid.
Would I notice that?
That's up to you, honestly. I'm not gonna make you roll for it.
I'm gonna say no. My passive perception.
Yeah,
is
you don't care. Yeah.
Oh. I don't notice it. So
Dead puppy good?
It's really hard making analogies that you understand, Melody.
She actually looks slightly down. She actually looks slightly downcast at this.
Melody not know what analogy is, but Melody feel sorry. She disappoint Sid?
No, you are absolutely fantastic.
Fix this, Scott.
You are absolutely fantastic. You see, everybody is born in this little box, right? And they live their entire life building up that box as best as they can, making fancy walls and all these gadgets and gizmos and gears to make their box as fancy as possible, right? And it's great because these boxes do great things. But then there's Melody. Melody walks alongside these boxes while not being trapped by them, right? Melody has the ability to interact with the boxes without being confined by them. Melody's a free spirit. And you know what? I have to say, I have to appreciate the outside perspective that Melody offers that nobody else can.
Yo, box talk. Classic move.
Everyone is special.
She sort of frowns and she thinks for quite a few, it's like 10-20 seconds, and
Melody is free, so Melody can be friends with everyone?
Yes, but even better. Melody is held down by no one, including herself.
Yes, Melody does what we want. Yes, Melody understands. Thank you, Sid. This.
And then she sort of looks down introspectively for a long period of time and doesn't look like she's going to say anything more.
Yeah.
And probably until you prompt her to get back to work or something, or start the conversation again.
Awesome.
Yep.
So after however long that happened and however long after, by the end of the day, Gale and Vil come. Vale and Gil.
Gale and Bill come.
Well, that's good for Gale and Phil. They have a happy and healthy relationship. I'm just,
Can you just not make fun of me when I say something wrong?
Did you get mad at me a handful of hours ago for saying the wrong name? Did you? Names are important, Scott. Names are important, Scott.
Is that me? Is that how dumb I sound? Okay.
Gale and Phil.
Gale and Phil.
And they came.
They're like
and it was enjoyable, and we all rejoiced.
So, the Sun Elf and human adventurers walk into the cave. And I imagine you've just been doing whatever you've been doing for a while. I imagine the first thing they do is, like, you can tell that they're carrying the bunch of stuff. You can tell the way it jangled. It's got all the stuff in it and the way they're carrying it. But, like, first of all, I imagine Gilwyn goes up to Sid and, like, just drops a pack of sausages.
Yeah.
Just like,
there you go, mate.
What's this for?
Yeah.
It's
Pork
for your
tail
belly.
Sausages. We know
Gil,
this
you are
Yeti.
Gil, you are a damn fine fella. Did I ever tell you that? You see what I mean? And he looks over at Melody. He's like, see what I mean? Of course we're friends. And I snag up the sausages and rush off to roast one on fire.
Yeah, Melody would have smiled when they came back in. Melody would have smiled and gone up to Gil and just sort of. She wouldn't have actually got too close to him. She would have just gone up to him and looked at him, smiled, and then just gone back to whatever.
It's like when you enter a room and someone wants to talk to you, except she actually has nothing to say.
It's almost like when you go into a room and your dog's there and it comes up and says hello and then goes back to whatever it was doing.
Well,
and we also brought some wine. Vale reaches into his backpack, pulls out a bottle of dwarven wine that he has in there.
Oh yeah.
Plops that down, and he reaches into his pockets, pulls out that old moldy coin sack, and he says, "Melody, catch."
Melody?
We didn't need any of the coin in the end. We managed to get a slight discount. So keep hoarding that gold, yes? Keep picking up those random coins you find. We might need it at some point.
Melody just nods at this and puts the pouch back in her pack.
Vale walks up behind Salney while he's starting to like cook a sausage on the fire. May I borrow a moment of your time?
Huh? Oh, yes. Let me just
It's fine. You can stay here. I just want to talk to you.
Real quick.
Sure. And I'm really excitedly like turning the spit that I just put the sausage on. Like, so excited to eat some sausage.
Salney, how do I put this? You have been a great help to me both off the combat field and on. I feel like you are certainly a master craftsman who I did well to employ. However, currently at the time, I do not have the 150 gold in my possession. As such, would you accept a promise of 175 gold for the late payment?
Kind of funny that you came up to me right about this right away, because I wanted to chat with you as well.
Well, you
have a
see,
seat.
I don't have enough money to pay you right now, and it isn't right for you to do the work if I cannot.
It's okay. Please,
If
have
not,
a seat.
We could sell the Yeti hide for the money.
That would be foolish. That would make literally no sense.
If I do not have the money to pay for the goods, then I cannot benefit from them. That is the way of my past, and I'm trying to not do that now.
I shake my head, like just like brushing aside the idea of like his notions, just like it's foolish, and I gesture one more time to like a place for him to sit down.
A lot of Sid's time today has been fashioning this like little bench thing by the fire.
Vale will sit down and he'll uncork the. What are you doing? And he will uncork the dwarven wine proffer.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm all set. I need to keep a clear mind. The work I'm starting tomorrow is going to be difficult.
Yes.
Listen. Let's discuss this. Melody and I had a wonderful, heartfelt conversation earlier.
Like on the other side of the room, like
Not you. The song. Wonderful, heartfelt conversation earlier today.
Oh, did you?
Yes, and it's about the nature of the relationships in this merry band of adventurers we've got going on here.
It certainly is unique.
Yes, I have to agree with you on that one. You see, Melody and I are friends.
Yeah, Melody, actually, because you said it wasn't about her earlier, you don't actually hear anything this time.
Yes. And then Gil and I.
When you say friends, you would probably you wouldn't hear anything immediately. When you say you're friends, you would probably hear just yes, Melody and Sid friends.
No, what I imagine is you say that to Gilwyn. Like they're over there, and you're over here, and they're like
here.
Like just like
Gilwyn and I happen to be friends, and then all of you happen to be friends with one another. However, I'm your employee and you my employer. Yes, and that's just the very nature of this relationship. And so there is no friendship going on here. Just simply the trust of a contract. However, you seem to not be able to uphold your end of the contract, and I certainly don't take promises as payment. That's just foolish. It's a bad way of doing business. And the work that I do is very expensive. So I think perhaps we need to renegotiate this arrangement we have here.
Yes.
The three of you, before I came along, or who or whatever it was that you traveled with, how is it that you acquired the means to live, or, I mean, even prosper?
You wish to know how I did that in a band of adventurers, or how I did that prior?
As adventurers. I'm not going to ask questions about prior. I feel as though knowledge can get me in trouble.
Yes, I think that is for the best. We did morally questionable quests for an elven house, which I was forced to do because I was their prisoner and was not allowed to leave the city unless I complied with their wishes.
Okay. And were you paid as individuals or as a group?
We were paid as individuals, I believe.
Is that the only way that you acquired money between then and now?
I've done a spot of hunting here and there to make a little bit of gold if needed, just to keep me and Gil going as we needed. But we didn't really have a huge need for gold. However, now here with me, I know promises of gold are not what you want. So, how long will it take you to make this? I will go down into the city. I can work my hand on the docks. I know my way around.
Oh, stop. We all know that dock pay is a couple copper a day, and that's just going to be absolute garbage. You're just going to wear your sword arm out and benefit very little from it, and you're not exactly going to get into a fight without me by your side, and my hands are going to be tied, aren't they? So let's continue at this point of logic. How is it you intend to make money moving forward? Beyond, of course, your duels.
Through dueling.
I also remind you that you have a possible funder.
Yeah, that is.
Who's actually more interested in what you said about Gil than what you said about yourself.
I think I haven't really explained this to the others, but I think because of this employee relationship that we have, I think I would explain what I've spent the past few days doing in terms of I've been ingratiating myself into the dueling network, learning the rules, as well as making some contacts in terms of an old master duelist as a mentor and a potential patron who would obviously give me gold. So I think Vale would set that all out because he takes this very seriously, because he understands that he's seen some of the things you create and some of the things you do, and he doesn't want to lose you in terms of your edge that other duelists might not have.
Yeah. Well, then let me inquire this: how is it that Gil and Melody are going to profit or benefit from your doing all of these things?
Well,
Or is it just your companionship that's going to
I could buy a round
save you?
every now and then, can't I?
That's not exactly going to pay their way for engaging in certainly mortal combat with a very large furred creature with fangs the size of my forearm.
Yes, the fangs were painful. I cannot speak for Melody. I do not think she has much wish for gold, other than to stay with us for now. And Gil, well, if I am rich, Gil is welcome to my money. He has been a good friend, and I wish to repay some of the help he has given me over the time.
So it seems as though this kind of arrangement is what you feel most comfortable with.
In terms of you being my employee,
And how it is you dole out the large sums of money that come your way to your other friends as well. Or to your friends as well, I wouldn't say other.
I would not wish to view it as paying them, but yes, I would be generous.
Generous. Dole, I don't mean payment. They're not your employees. You're companions. I get that. Then I retract my concerns. I accept your offer of 175 at such a time that you can appropriately pay it. I don't like the idea of working on promises. However, this seems to be the best way that you know how to handle things. And at least until such a time that I think that you're, well, full of shit, I'm willing to work along with it. It's fine. And with that, I will extend my hand to shake his.
Cheers.
And with that handshake, we shall take a break for the final hour. This Wednesday. We'll be back in soon.
Okay.